What's up, guys? We are back, and I'm looking at some more MLB plays today over on PrizePicks. We got the sweep yesterday, cashing all plays, and we're going to do it right again today with some more free plays in this video here. I got 3 plays for you guys, pretty unlikely yesterday. If you guys want a third play tomorrow, get this video here to 175 likes. I'll drop a third play in tomorrow's video for y'all. Yesterday in the Dub Club, we were able to cash out this four-man right here, and it was one of the worst days we've had, actually, despite hitting a four-man the last couple days, because that's how good we've been doing over in the Dub Club. The day before here, we had entries right like this here. We had a three-man. We hit that three-man right there. We had another three-man there. And we were one leg away from cashing the six-man. Yesterday, we actually one leg again away from cashing out for like $1,800 again. So we've had back-to-back misses by one leg to win $1,800 now. So really unfortunate, but we've been cashing out both in these videos and over in the Dub Club. So let's hop in and let's just keep cashing. So before we do the free plays, though, don't miss out on checking out the Dub Club if you have not already, as I was talking about earlier. Right now, there is a 50% off offer for the first month. It is a limited time, limited spots available. It is available with the link in my description. So come get in with that 50% offer. You could also get with the same exact link here. You just click on claim an offer for 60% off of the next 3 months. So 50% off your first month or 60% off the next 3 months. Both deals are really good. You guys can see all different testimonies here of guys that have cashed out here. You can see this entry here. We won like $1,800 on not too long ago. You have all the other guys just talking about how good the Dub Club is. So come join us, man. At least for the first month, it is 50% off. And as I've been saying, we have been crushing it over in the Dub Club, man, with these little bit of correlation slips between the four-mans, the three-mans, and all that. We are looking to keep cashing, though, with some more winners today over in the Dub Club. So come join us right now with that 50% off offer, which is linked to my description. But that's not all that you get, by the way. You also get you get my community chat and all my other plays, of course, for like the WNBA. But in the community chat here, if you just add me in the chat, I'll respond to you pretty much instantly almost. I'm always in the chat, always responding to guys with questions. It's a really good community too. It's a really positive community with guys just trying to get some winners. You also see my contributors here too, they'll posting their plays. You have Asmies with golf plays, Emo with WNBA, Elo with soccer, third one with tennis, Nerler with esports, and then Astronaut Doe here posting pretty much everything. MLB, golf, and just other sports as well. Tennis. He's been killing his place as well. So come join us in the Dub Club, 50% off your first month. With that out of the way, let's get to these free plays. Make sure you play responsibly and at your own risk. Leave a like on this video here if you have not already and subscribe with the notifications on, and let's get to these plays. The first play I like on the PrizePicks board for tonight's slate is going to be over in the fancy score category because I like Byron Buxton tonight. Over his fancy score at 6.5. So I think Bucks is in a great spot to go over his fantasy score today. If you do not have fantasy score available to you, by the way, like maybe you're on like a book or something, or price isn't in your state. What I do like instead is the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Byron Buxton. I also like his over run, for example, but you're going to get a little bit of juice on those overs. But overall, I think Buxton's fantasy score is one of the best plays on the PrizePicks board right now. I really like it a lot, but I'm just sticking to the normal units here. The entry in this video here is, by the way, it's going to be like half a unit. So we're going with the six-man here, or three-man here for like 6x. But Byron Buxton has been over his fantasy score in about 57% of games this year, but has missed this in 3 straight games, as you can see there, including a game actually where the Twins scored 10 runs. So probably should have covered in that game. But overall, the Twins are big favorites in this game. The guy they're playing today is Mitchell Parker, who is a lefty, and Byron Buxton likes his lefties, man. If you look at how he's been against lefties this year, massive bump up in hit rate in terms of hit runs and RBIs, which of course equates to fantasy score. You also have his history here against Mitchell Parker as well. He has actually had a hit in 3 plate appearances against Mitchell Parker, which is what we want to see in such a small sample size. Buxton has been able to crush lefties this year. You can see here he has a 328 average compared to his normal 285 against lefties compared to all handinesses. Mitchell Parker, though, is a little bit worse against righties with a 5.09 ERA and a little bit of a better batting average allowed against righties. But overall, the ERA is pretty good for us. You have Buxton today facing mainly the fastball, the curveball, and the splitter. He has a 384 on base average, but against the fastball is a 339, still solid, even though it's like in the red, it's just worse than his average, but still it's a very good on base average. Curveball here is actually goes up to about a 427, which is what we're looking for. Splitter goes all the way to an 840, which is ridiculously good. Although again, it is kind of a small sample size, only 10 plate appearances. But overall, I think Buxton is a pretty good spotter for his fantasy score based off the Twins being so favored in this game at home and just his matchup today, of course. In wins this year, Buxton has been ridiculously good, going over in 76% of games. Wins at home this year over in also 76%. So I love Buxton today. That's gonna be my first play here of the video. But before we get to talking about an app, I wanted to talk about the next play here too, because we're gonna go with guys from the same team. Kind of did the same type of deal yesterday in a way. I like Willie Castro over 5 fantasy scores today against the Minnesota Twins. Or I'm sorry, not the Minnesota Twins. That's who he's on. The Washington Nationals. So Taking two overs here from the Minnesota Twins today. We're getting a little bit of correlation action here. I like Willie Castro and Buxton today over the fantasy score. These lines just feel way too low for how good I think the Twins offense is going to perform today. And you can see Castro's had at least five fantasy. There are some pushes in the mix, so kind of keep that in mind. Hit rate's not really 56%, but he's over in 56% of games here. He's had at least five fantasy in 56% of games this year. His hit runs and RBIs is very favored on the over, about a minus 140, and he is a 46% hit rate there. So he's got a better hit rate on a prop that is like a minus 140 if you're kind of getting what I'm putting down here. Just know it's good value basically on paper is what I'm trying to say. But Castro, though, if you look at how he has also performed in wins this year, because that's what we want today. We're taking two overs from the Twins. We need them to perform on offense today. In wins, he's actually been over since 63%, wins at home 67%. So that's what we like to see there, especially with the wins being from late. Like these are all like recent wins here. Like all the other ones are from like April and May. All the more recent ones are, recent ones. That's what we're looking for. All the winners are from then. But going to the matchup against Mitchell Parker, though, let's talk about how he is against lefties, though. You can see his hit runs and RBIs is at 50 is a 46% hit rate, but against lefties, 53%. Love to see that there. You also can see that he has two hits in three plate appearances against Mitchell Parker. That's also what we're looking for, and something that I'm pretty happy about. You have Castro just being much better against lefties with a 274 batting average, as we touched on earlier with Mitchell Parker. Worse ERA, better batting average allowed against righties. Throws that fastball, curveball in the splitter. Castro is a 364 on base average against the fastball. Curveball does drop down to a 316, but still pretty solid. Splitter is where he does tend to struggle, but I'm also not super concerned about that because we are getting still the fastball and the curveball, and he only throws that splitter like 13% of the time. So overall, I think Castro's in a pretty good spot here. The only downside too, though, is that we could potentially see three plate appearances for him, which is not exactly desirable. So hopefully, catch this one in the first like 7 innings or so, because we may not get a fourth opportunity for him to cover this line. But it really depends. We'll see if he ends up getting like pinch hit or not. But overall, I think both these guys are in a great spot. Brian Buxton and Willie Castro. Before we get to my pair for them, if you're not yet on DK Pick Sixes, a newer app from DK, and it's a pretty solid app too. They have some really cool things that they offer on the board. Yesterday we had 4 different home runs boosted. If you like taking home run plays, by the way, DK Pick Six is one of the places to be if you have DFS like in your state. So like Kyle Schwarber right now is boosted over half a home run, as you can see there. And like I said yesterday, we had 4 of them. So if you like home run plays, this is probably the place to be. If you sign up for DK Pick 6, use a link in my description and promo code DOMG when signing up, so you get some bonuses. Helps me out, should help you out as well. They're not just good for home run plays. They have pretty much every category on the board, including some somewhat unique ones. Like instead of like being able to change things around and them not like offering every play, you have like 2+ earned runs allowed. You have 1+ RBI, of course, singles, 5+ hit against instead of like, you know, guys being different lines, if that kind of makes sense. But they also just have, of course, normal hits against as well. But it's a really cool app. I really do enjoy it. So get it for yourself in my description if you are interested. DK Pick 6 available with the link in my description. Use promo code DOMG when signing up. All right, I'm getting to my pair for these two twins in this video here. I'm going to go with Nolan Arenado over his fantasy score at 4.5 here. I don't typically love backing Nolan Arenado, but he's in a pretty good spot here with some pretty good value on the over here of his 4.5 fantasy. If all three are correct, it pays out 5.75x. So that's what we're looking for to get in this video here with these free plays. Nolan Arenado, though, has been over his hit runs and RBIs in 49% of games, which again is an alternative. If I ever like a fantasy score on the over, by the way, I instead like the over hit runs and RBIs for that player if that's not available to you for whatever reason. But Arenado here is like a minus 150, like on the over here of his hit runs and RBIs, minus 135. He's at 4.5 fantasy on PrizePicks. And if you don't know, it's nearly impossible. It's not impossible, but it's nearly impossible to go over your hit runs and RBIs without going over your PrizePicks fantasy score. It's a very, very rare for that to ever happen. So that's why there's some value here because you also have other ways to go over a fantasy score, like a stolen base, or like there's a lot of other ways you can end up getting, covering your fantasy score. Like a hit and a walk is 5 fantasy score, for example, like a single and a walk when it's only one hit run RBI. Anyways, I think the Cardinals are in a great spot today, though, against the Padres. If you look at games where, they've been in wins, he's over in 63% of games. At home in wins, he's been over in 67% of games. So that's something we'd like to see there because I love the Cardinals offense today. And again, if you look at how he's been against righties this year, he's been slightly better. Even if it's not necessarily on paper with like a 217 batting average, which is not very good. But overall, he's been better, like, covering his hit runs and RBIs against righties than he has against lefties, basically, if that kind of makes sense. So it's just basically it's the offense around him as well. But he gets a matchup here against Vasquez, who has a rough ERA this year. He may be a little bit better against righties on paper, but 3.61 ERA and a 2.14 batting average allowed is not very good. Batting average allowed, I guess, is not that bad, but the ERA is definitely very bad at 3.61. But overall, Arenado is a 2.92 on base average this year, but faces mainly the cutter, the fastball, and the sinker. The cutter, though, is where it is at. He's had 20 plate appearances against it with a 5.30 on base average. We love to see that there. That is exactly what I'm looking for there, and has also never struck out this year against the cutter. You have the fastball with a 329 on base average, and then the sinker with a 269. So the fastball and the cutter there is two top pitches. He has been able to crush with only a 4.7 strikeout percentage, by the way, against that fastball. So he should hopefully be putting the ball into play, which is very, very good for us. So I like the spot here for Arenado. Give me the over of his fantasy score at 4.5. I like the value. That's going to be the entry here. It's going to be Byron Buxton over 6.5 fantasy, Castro over 5 fantasy, and Nolan Arenado over 4.5 fantasy. Again, if you do not have these available to you, though, the fantasy scores, what I like instead is the over for hit runs and RBIs. I'm fine with Buxton at 2.5, but Castro and Arenado, I prefer at 1.5 hit runs and RBIs. But that's going to do it. We are not done, though. I want to talk about the DubClub again, of course. Make sure to join if you have not already, because it is at a limited time offer of 50% off. You see there's only a couple of spots left there. Not sure if I'm going to continue to offer this promo or not, so just get in right now while you're able to with the link available in my description. Give you access to the DubClub, of course, where all my plays are sent, as well as the Discord and all of my slips here, like the entries that we've been cashing out on, the 4-mans and the 3-mans and all that. The community chat is a great place to be. You're going to enjoy it. I really do believe you will. So come join us. It's 50% off right now. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys hopefully in the next video. Best of luck. If you want to make over $5,000 of profit on PrizePicks, you can watch this video on your screen right here.